It was a dark and stormy night, the kind you only see in movies. Rain was lashing down, and the wind howled like a banshee. I was driving down a deserted country road, miles from the nearest town. My car's headlights cut a weak path through the relentless downpour. Suddenly, up ahead, a figure emerged from the gloom. A woman, drenched to the bone, was standing by the side of the road, thumb outstretched. My heart pounded. Who would be out here in this weather? Against my better judgment, I pulled over. She looked relieved, her face pale in the dashboard lights. She climbed into the passenger seat, water pooling on the floor mat. "Thank you," she whispered, her voice barely audible over the storm. My car broke down about a mile back. I nodded, trying to offer a reassuring smile. "No problem. Where are you headed?" She gave me an address on the other side of town. As we drove, an eerie silence settled between us, broken only by the rhythmic thump of the windshield wipers. I tried to make small talk, asking her name, what she did for a living, but her answers were short, almost evasive. A strange chill filled the car, a cold that had nothing to do with the weather outside. I glanced over at her. She was just staring straight ahead, her eyes fixed on the rain-streaked road. The feeling of unease grew with every mile. It was like I had a ghost sitting next to me. The GPS announced we were approaching her destination. It was an old, slightly dilapidated house at the end of a long, dark driveway. "This is it," she said, her voice still a whisper. I pulled up to the front door. "Well, here you are," I said, trying to sound cheerful. She simply nodded, opened the door, and stepped out into the rain, without another word. I watched her walk up to the house and disappear inside. Shaking my head, I figured she was just shaken from her car trouble. I started to pull away, but then I noticed something on the passenger seat. It was a small, silver locket. She must have dropped it. I sighed. I couldn't just leave it. I got out of the car, locket in hand, and ran through the rain to the front door. I knocked, waited, then knocked again, louder this time. Finally, the door creaked open, and an elderly man stood there, peering at me with weary eyes. "Can I help you?" he asked. "I'm sorry to bother you so late," I began, "but I just dropped off a young woman. I think she dropped this in my car." I held up the locket. The old man's face went pale. He took the locket, his hand trembling as he opened it. Inside were two tiny pictures. Where did you say you picked her up?" he stammered. I described the spot on the country road. The old man looked up at me, his eyes filled with tears. "That's my daughter," he said, his voice cracking. "That's exactly where she had her accident. 5 years ago today." He looked from the locket to me, a look of profound sorrow on his face. "She died on that road." A cold dread washed over me, colder than the rain soaking my clothes. I stammered an apology and backed away, my mind reeling. I got back in my car, my hands shaking so much I could barely grip the steering wheel. I glanced at the passenger seat. It was empty, but the floor mat was still wet. I drove away as fast as I could, my heart hammering against my ribs. Leaving the house and its secrets behind in the stormy night, I never drove down that road again. Thanks for watching. If you have your own chilling story, share it in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more mysteries.